Hello and welcome back to the channel, here for yet another league race, this time in the BenBo Gaming League. We're Hungary today, just north of Budapest, of course the capital. And we're for yet another race here, heading on for our championship challenge against Jerome and Hindle. Of course, in order to do that, you have to qualify first, so here we are. Around the final corner, this is to finish my first lap. You would have seen trying a different setup here today. I've very generously been given a spreadsheet with a load of really good setups on it. So I'm sort of trying to adapt to those slowly, and we will see how we go from there. You can see my first lap putting me somewhere. I actually didn't read that off the screen, I was looking at something else. I think it's 4th at the moment where we're currently sitting. It's ready to go out for our second run here in qualifying. Of course, we need the best result we can get here in qualifying in order to carry decent momentum onwards into the race. But of course, you may notice a couple of times as well, my setup, I'm not 100% comfortable with it. I think I gave myself about 5 or 6 laps to try and adjust to this setup for the race. Didn't exactly go to plan. You'll notice I'm still struggling a little bit. But we know this lap it was better overall, I think it was. If it's not, then that's just bad editing from my side. Of course, I edited down the clips a couple of days ago from now when I'm recording the voiceover. To head up the hill towards turn 4. Now, very tentative from here indeed. You can see off the throttle for a very long time. Game also giving us false hope that we're currently on provisional pole. Yet our time was only, like, I think 900ths up on our last, which is not going to be enough for anything sort of good. You can see middle sector is all poor. We just can't quite get the rotation where we needed, which is weird because this car rotates better with this setup than the one that I have before this. But yeah, still struggling a lot. Just don't quite know where the limits of the car are. You can see down in sector 2 as well. So I was kind of just trying to get as much as I could out of the car in this final sector, so ringing it through the final corner. And we're going to cross the line, go P3. We find 1.5 tenths in the end, which puts us 3rd. Overall on the grid, of course, Jerome and Noah, very good at qualifying so far this season. Matty and Hindle behind. And then Panda, Brandon and Curly round out the rest of them. Only 8 cars here. Attendance is honestly shocking here. Which is why I'm considering leaving it at the end of the season, but we won't leave before then. Let's just see how it goes. Of course, throughout the rest of the season. I think it's 3 races left after this one, or 2 races left. Not entirely sure. We jump over now onto the grid, ready to go. 5 lights are on, and we are racing here in Budapest. You can see once again we get a really good initial start and then just go absolutely nowhere. See a little bit of contact from one of the Alphas behind. I think that was Hindle as we go into turn 1. Try around the outside of Noah, and then receive another little hit from Hindle, which apparently was completely intentional, when you'll see in a bit. As we go up the inside into turn 2, he just leaves the inside for us. Gives up that place. Didn't have to do that, of course, but clearly he felt bad. Have to give me a little nudge to turn 1. So we're only down 1 place as it stands on the first lap, using our elite strats once again to avoid getting any warnings for track limits. So we get a replay of the start, and then 5 lights are coming on. You can just see our bright orange McLaren. The only McLaren as well on the grid. No teammate this week, I don't know why. He just didn't show up, but it's fair enough. I didn't show up to France on very late notice indeed. So down to turn 1, you can see there's a little bit of contact there with Hindle into turn 1. You get a slightly better view. The Alpha just tagging me on the exit. And of course the only place we can go there is off the track. We jump forwards now to the end of lap 2. You can see we are pushing, we are quicker than Matty at this stage. We come now around the final corner. Purple sector 1, green sector 2. He's gone a little bit wide, so we're going to be right under his rear wing now as he gets to the final corner. Of course, no DRS just yet. It's only just been enabled. We're heading down towards someone right behind him. We go dummy him to the outside, but then as we brake, trying to duck to the inside, we have pretty much assassinated him. You can see, not the best of rejoins there, but we did let him go as we nearly collect Panda there. But yeah, we do let Matty back past, and we decide to sit behind him for the lap. We didn't have to. He seemed to be suffering more damage than I was, so I just sit behind him for the whole lap. For purely out of just kindness, you know. I felt a little bit. I felt very guilty. You know, I tried to move it. It was risky to try, but we went for it. As you see, we just got Curly behind us now. Tries to get past us there, which I don't know why he didn't, to be honest. We were very slow. You can see we're just following Matty around at this point. You see we got blocked there. So Curly takes that place away from us. Doesn't get past the Red Bull. We are going to be putting at the end of this lap to go medium to the end of the race. We're just eagerly waiting now. Of course, we could have been in the pits by now, but again, as I said, I chose not to. And we were actually handed a penalty point and a 3-place grid drop for the next race in Russia, but I honestly don't think that will be implemented. They never are, because there's no way of implementing a grid drop. It's possibly the most stupid penalty to give unless you have qualifying and race on separate days. But yeah, so that happened. Into the pits now, technically. So I felt like doing this, it would be punishing myself, because I lost a lot of time. You can see if you look at the map, the current leaders, Jerome and Noah, currently into turns 6 and 7, the chicane, in the middle sector. And to make matters a little bit better for Matthew's race, he comes out ahead of me in the pits as well.
Stop to go.
We did pick up a time penalty from that lap, clearly just pushing too hard to go back to the pits. We see a replay of it here. You see we dart to the right and then we try and get back up the left, and pretty much just send the Alfa Romeo to the shadow realm on the end of lap 4 now, heading into turn 1. We're not as close as we were when we tried that last move. He goes very defensive, and we're not even going to try that same move this time. We're going to try and brake later, go around the outside, but you can see his car is still there. He does leave space though, very kind of him to do, because we get a little bit of a wiggle on out of the corner into turn 2 then. Once again trying to brake later, get up the inside. Didn't leave us much space, but there was enough there, so there's also contact. We have to completely back out of that one. Yeah, I'm not sure whose fault that was. I think just racing into them as we head up into turn 4. Nothing we can do this time around. We're just trying to put the pressure onto the Matty ahead of us. Try and force some sort of mistake. But instead of causing a mistake for him, we've caused one for ourselves. We're around again for the second time in this Hungarian race. Well, we're off the track for the second time. Or thankfully third time. You can see the tyres are absolutely destroyed. Luckily we didn't hit the wall, but the rears were honestly giving us nothing as the leader's actually pitted. We're just trying to survive on these tyres. You can see messing up over there once again. The rears have no grip at this point. Just trying to nurse the car around, but yeah, more time lost. We're now 14 seconds behind Matty. You see a replay here. Absolutely nothing a fault for him. I didn't even touch the curb. I think, yeah, I don't know what happened, to be honest. Instead, I think that's just the setup. As I said, I wasn't used to it. And now on to lap 12. You can see it's a lot darker. It doesn't really mean anything. It gets lighter in the not too distant future. But we're right up behind Brandon Zero, who is an AI. Don't know why. He hadn't disconnected at this point. He disconnects later on. Spoiler alert. But at this point, he's just pausing the game for whatever reason. So we're just going to just dive up the inside now into turn 6. Of course, you know, we have to get that moved on. We weren't staying behind him for the rest of the middle sector, because we would have lost so much time. You can see we have also gained 4 back onto Matty, another 2 now, as we come around turn 5. As you can see this time, Matty's made the mistake at turn 5. I don't know what he did. I don't think he had a full spin, just a half spin compared to what I did. He jumped now forwards onto the end of the lap, or the end of the next lap, I'm not entirely sure. The time jump, we're right up behind Matty once again for the 3rd time now down the pit straight. A bit of weaving, but I think it's okay, we weren't quite close enough. Back out into turn 1, he goes a little bit deep, so we're going to get a bit of a switch back here as well. As we exit the first corner, heading down towards turn 2. He tries to cover the inside, but we do still put our car there. Just trying to hold it on the inside line. I'm going to try and hold it around the outside of turn 3, but just get forced off the track. But completely entitled. Yeah, I've been a very risky move to have stuck my car there. Would have been contact. As we move forward onto lap 15 now. That is Curly coming into the pits, I believe, just ahead of us in the Red Bull. We're going to try again on Matty once again. Now exit of turn 14. A little bit more weaving, but I think this time he knows he's beaten. We got better exit. We used pretty much more power we had. And just about as we get the move done, safety car is deployed.
Keep your delta number positive as we form up.
I think that was the Renault that caused that. He had a little spin, just the way we are now. A little bit annoying. But of course, you know, what can we do? We're going to pull into the pit at the end of lap 16. Medium tyres on the car till the end, at least I think. Might have been hards, not entirely sure, can't remember. We'll have a look as we pull into the pit lane, into the pit box. It's going to be medium tyres going on the car. A lot better stop this time. I think the stop last time was just, it was insane. Luckily this time, nice easy stop. As we pull out towards the end of the pit lane, you can see Panda jumped Matty as well. Not too sure how, but it happened. And on to lap 18. Now halfway through the race. I'm getting ready to go racing. Safety car will be in at the end of this lap. I don't know who it is leading. I would assume Jerome from Noah Hindle. It's just be the order it's been so far this race. Curly P4 somehow. No idea, but obviously he's there, so fair play. Getting ready to go. I've never raced Brandon before in that Haas. Never raced them before, so don't know what he was going to do. But as we come out of the first corner, see Curly's got a horrendous restart. So they're going to go side by side now into turn 1. He goes a little bit wide as well into the first corner, so we're going to take full advantage here. Maximum power on the exit in the first corner. Up the inside of the Red Bull into turn, so we give us a little bit of a squeeze, but once again we're going to stick our car on the apex. As we come down now through turn 3, we just get an absolute whack from the Red Bull because he didn't turn. He can complain and protest as much as he wants, but I've seen his onboard as well and he just doesn't turn. So I think there's a replay of that coming up, but you can see luckily we got away with pretty much no damage. The Red Bull spun, but really annoying. You see a replay from it now. You can just see the Red Bull just straight lines us, but he lost more time than I did, so we got very lucky with that. We of course back off when rejoining the track, otherwise we would have collected those guys. So the end of the lap though, we've very nearly been into the pit wall. We're going to stay out, however go to the end. Damage isn't too bad, unless we had plenty of grip on that lap after the contact. So jump forwards to lap 22, 3 laps later on. We have caught up to the back of Panda, who goes very, very wide through the final corner. I was a bit tentative to put my car on the inside, but as we exit the final corner, we're going to make this move now. Heading down into turn 1, doesn't depend on the inside, so we're going to take that completely. Brake later as well than the Renault, and hit the apex. Park the car on the apex a little bit, just to make sure no one's going to get past us, because that's our line.
Great maneuver. You made it look easy.
Turn 2, this move complete. Or as I thought, end of that lap then. Panda still within the DRS, which I didn't actually realise. I wasn't paying attention 100%, just trying to race. But I noticed very late that he's actually gaining on me massively. It's a bit of a late dart towards the inside. But we get a better exit than him as well. Of course DRS, ERS as well. As not DRS, overtake and rich mix. Just will hold on to that position. Luckily we managed to get the inside back for turn 2. So replay, this is the first move when I got past him. Just see, pretty simple move in the end there luckily. And then this is the second of those 2 little clips there. You can see very late defensive move, but fair. This time it was Panda braking later around the outside, but couldn't quite get the power down on the exit. And as we emerge behind the signs, we just about get ahead. Forwards now onto lap 27, we're lapping Curly. And as we come past them, we're going to cut very aggressively across the front of him, just to show our frustration towards him. That's all it was. A little bit annoyed with him, so I thought I'm just going to cut you up. But now you can see that is it for the race. We come across the line, very dejected. P4, but I only have myself to blame. Of course, for the initial incident with Matty. So, not the best. Of course, we lose out to Jordan in the championship. We're still leading, so that's all good. But that will be it for today. Hope you have enjoyed. Do leave a like and subscribe as well. It is free, and you can always change your mind later. So feel free to drop any comments down below if you have any suggestions for me, or just anything you want to say in general. I will read and respond to all necessary. Apart from that, I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you next time with the next race. I'll see you then.